Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, like wherever you're located. My name is Sushma Sandepogu and I am part of the SAP Analytics Product Management Group. Our team is called RIG and we basically work with Lumira and Design Studio customers. I've been with SAP for over 7.5 years now, and for the last 3 years I have been working on the Lumira and Design Studio. The topic for today's webinar is how to create a dashboard using the pre-delivered template, and I'm gonna cover the generic analysis template and data discovery and visualization template, and also we will try to take a look at the ad hoc template and also the online composition template very briefly. So here is the agenda as you can see on the screen. So first I will give you a very quick overview. I'm not going to go into details, but a very quick overview of Design Studio, and then a generic analysis template, then the data discovery and visualization template, and in the end we will see ad hoc analysis template. Actually we also have one other template, online composition template, and the only reason why I'm not going to cover in this webinar is because we are going to have a separate webinar especially for that particular template later. And then in the end we will have the demo. So I'm going to show you quickly how to use this template in the Design Studio, and then in the end we will have the Q&A session. So before I even start speaking, it's very important to display the legal disclaimer. So here it is. And okay, so now let's get started with the presentation. So as you can see here, this is the BI portfolio, and in the BI portfolio under applications category we have the Design Studio tool. So basically the complete BI portfolio is, you can divide it into 3 categories: reporting, applications, and agile visualization. I'm sure you must have seen this slide in many workshops and webinars, so I'm not going to go into very detail. The only important thing to know is Design Studio, it is used to build professionally authored applications, and you can build directly. You can use either BW system, HANA system, or you can also use universals in order to create your applications or dashboards. And this is our BI convergence slide. In the dashboards and applications category, you see we have Design Studio, dashboards, and Bex Webby, and going forward in this category, SAP would be investing in this Design Studio a lot. And also you can see on the right we have these 2 arrows indicating that going forward we will have a strong interoperability between these different tools of BI portfolio. So the main topic for this webinar, as I already mentioned, is to discuss the pre-delivered templates, and these templates have been delivered in the Design Studio 1.5 version, which is the current release. So as you can see, we have like around 14 features which have been included in 1.5. 1.5 I would say is like a pretty good release or a big release. We have included a lot of new features in 1.5, and we are not going to cover all the features because if you go into details then this 1 hour won't be sufficient. For this webinar, our main focus would be just to discuss this pre-delivered template. So as you can see, we have these 4 different templates which are a part of the Design Studio 1.5. We also have other templates, but we will majorly focus on this template today. So the Ad-hoc Analysis template, actually it was part of the 1.4 version, but I just wanted to cover that one also. So that's the only reason why I have included it here. So first we will start with the generic analysis template. So with the Design Studio 1.5, basically it delivers, or Design Studio 1.5 gives a pre-delivered template which can serve the business and design needs of your organization. And one of that template is generic analysis template. So this template is a predefined template, as I mentioned before. It is used for the slicing and dicing data sources. So, and as the name suggests, it's a generic slicing and dicing. You do not assign your data source in your design time, but rather when you run your application, you will have an opportunity to select your data source. It can be your BW system or HANA box. And this generic analysis template can only be used on the BIP mode and NetWeaver mode. As you all know, in Design Studio, we have different modes to use. So basically, you can run Design Studio in the local mode, or in the BIP mode, or in the HANA mode, or in the NetWeaver mode. But and for this generic analysis template, you can use in the BIP mode and NetWeaver mode. So this generic analysis template, it can only be used for desktop browsers. What I mean by that is, like, when you start creating your app in Design Studio, while giving the name to your app, it will also ask you an option to select the template category or the target system where you would actually execute your app. So be it iPad or iPhone, or are you gonna execute this on your desktop browser? So this template is only available for the desktop browser, and as soon as you execute this app or execute this template, then it will prompt you to select the data source. Once you select the data source, all you will see is, like, you will have a chart and a cross tab already available. You just have to assign your dimensions and measures to your chart or cross tab, and you can do your slicing and dicing. And once you have this generic analysis template created, and after you have your charts and cross tabs created, you can share them within your organizations or between different users using the bookmarks. Or also there is an option for you to select your share your template offline sharing by exporting it into a PDF format, and that's one of the ways to share your template in an offline mode. And also you can have the bookmark, you can bookmark it and then you can share it through the URL, or you can export it to an Excel PDF, or also you can just print it and then you can share it via email. So the main features, as I mentioned, you can assign a BW or a HANA data source, and the cross tab and a chart is already available. And if you want, you can change the chart type, because we have this new chart picker which has a variety of charts available. So you can pick whatever chart fits for you, and then you can create that particular chart in your template. And then you also have the navigation panel, so listing all of your dimensions and measures. You can pull up your measures and dimensions into the respective rows and columns. You can do a little bit of chart settings, and cross-tab settings are also available, where you can swap axes, where you can do scaling or tweak a little bit of display. And in the generic analysis template, you can either view the cross-tab only, or you can view the chart only, or you can view both. So everything we will see in the demo while we are doing. And also there is a filter option. You can add filters on your dimensions, and then you can filter your data. And as I already mentioned, there is an option for you to bookmark the application, or just a part of, or just bookmark a part of the application using smart objects, which is also called as portable fragments. So this is how you get started with the generic analysis template. Once you log into the Design Studio, you start creating the new app, and you can do it either in local mode or in the BIP mode. So once you select, so you see once you are in the Design Studio, you create a new app, then it will ask you to select the template. So this is the generic analysis template, as you see on the screen. And once you select your generic analysis template, you would go into the design mode. So I have numbers on the screenshots, as you can see. The first one, giving a name to your app, and the second one, selecting your template, and third one, once you are in the template, you would simply click on the execute button, and then it will open up in a browser where it will prompt you to select the data source. And you don't have to do any further configurations in order to make it work. It's very simple, easy, and you are not, even in the design time, you won't be doing anything. As soon as you open your template, you would simply click on the execute button, and that should open up in a browser. But in case if you want to modify something, or if you want to create your own template based off this template, you can definitely do that. So if you go into the design time of this template, you would see under the outline section, you would see all the properties, and you can still go there and add or tweak the template as per your requirement. And as soon as you select this template, it is not that you are modifying this template. So system, once you select this template, system creates a copy of this template for you. So even though if you tweak it, it doesn't mean you are tweaking the original template. So as I mentioned, as soon as you click on the execute button in the design mode, see here on the browser, it will prompt you to select the system. And here one thing is, like, if you are executing in the local mode, so whatever systems you have defined in your SAP logon pad, those BW systems will be read and will be displayed here. And again, if you are using in the local mode, the HANA system should be defined in the ODBC connection. You have to configure it, and once you have your ODBC connection for the HANA created on your machine, then it will display that particular system in the screen, and then you will be able to, and in the drop down box you can select your BW system or HANA system. And if you are executing this template in the VIP mode, then you have to define you have to create your OLAP connection in the VIP. So once you define your connections in the VIP, that means in the TMC you have to define your connection. Once you have your connection created in the TMC, then automatically those will be displayed for you when you are in the VIP mode, and all you have to do is just select those systems, and simply once you select it, then you will, in the next page, you will get an option to either select the calculation or analytical view, if it's a HANA box, or a query info provider, or a query view if it's a BW box. So this is how the generic analysis template looks when you execute it in the BIP mode. So on the top you can see we have the menu area where we have different options. Back to start means going to the very initial state. Undo, I don't have to especially explain anything here. And the info button, it just gives you the metadata information of this particular query and and prompts, if you have prompts defined in your, or the variables defined in your query or the view, then those will be displayed, and then you can select them, and based on your selection, data would appear. And select data source is once you have made your selections and once you are in the generic analysis template, you would still have an option to change your data source and then build a different template or the different app using a different data sources, measures and dimensions. And the bookmark, so you, as I previously mentioned, you can bookmark or save the state of this particular application, and all the bookmarks will be saved in the CMC. And if you are in the BIP mode, and if you are in the NetWeaver mode, there are 2 to 3 tables in the BW where the bookmarks will be saved. And on the right side, you can see I have the filter section. So once you click here, it will give you an option to add filters. So you can add filters based on your dimensions, and as for designer, you can add up to 12 filter members here. And here you can see we have the navigation panel where you see the measures and dimensions related to that particular view or the query. So you can drag and drop your dimensions under rows, or you can also select your filter or filter your measures. And here you can see we have the cross tab built, and you can see the cross tab view is selected here. If you want, you can see the same in the chart view, or you can also see both chart and cross tab at the same time. And at the bottom, as you can see, you can select a particular just the selected. If you want, you can completely bookmark the entire application so that you would see this, you would use this option. Or if you want to just select a particular area, then you would just use this save as smart object. And once you select this save button, then you can see you can simply select the save view. That means only the cross tab or the chart will be displayed once you open this view, or you can also completely save this application. And one of the important reasons for this smart object is if you have your smart objects created, all these smart objects can be managed in CMC in different folders. And if you have access to those folders, you can reuse these smart objects in the online composition template, and you can reuse or you can build your own applications using different smart objects coming from different data sources. You can club all of them in one particular application. So that was a little description about smart objects. You will get more very detailed information or explanation once we have that online composition webinar. That's a very big topic actually, so we are going to have a separate webinar for that. And we also have this export to Excel, export to CSV, export to PDF and print options available for this generic analysis template. So these are the functions which are available in generic analysis template. And one important thing is, like, on the context menu of this cross tab, you would see some additional features like sort, display, or activate the hierarchy, or how to display your totals or hide your totals, or add more filters or swap accesses. So you do have the context menu help on your cross tab. So you also, once you switch to the chart view, Then here you will see a chart picker section and some chart settings. So we have a different variety of charts available in the chart picker section. So depending upon your requirements, you can choose the suitable charts for you, and then you can create your app. As you can see, we have a little chart settings tag. You can swap addresses and you can set the scaling factors. And also for the cross tab settings, as you can see, if you have your conditional formatting setup created already in your query, then those will be shown. If you click on this show conditional formatting icon, now you are seeing hide conditional formatting because conditional formatting is already being displayed. So these are the different chart types which are available in the chart picker. And this is how it looks like when you export your application to the Excel. And once you export it to Excel, you would see two sheets will be created. Cross tab would be the sheet with the data, and then the selection cross tab where you can see the properties of this application. And if it's an export to CSV, then everything gets exported in one single sheet. And export to PDF. So here you can see you can export it, and we have different page sizes available. And also we have two orientations available, landscape and portrait. And you can give your header title and also the footer. And once you click on this export to PDF, then it will be created as you see in the screenshot. So I have already covered this one. So info, this is how it looks. It's a query related information that will be displayed. The metadata information will be displayed. And if you have your prompts defined, then this button will be activated, and once you click on that, a prompt screen would be displayed where you can make your selections or select your variable. And if you do not have any prompts in your query or view, then this button will be disabled or it will be grayed out. And select once you and as I mentioned before, you can always change your data source by selecting this select data source option. And once you do that, it will open a new template for you again, and then you can start building your chart or a cross tab. One more thing is, like in this template at a time you can have only one chart or one cross tab. And if you want to build more, then you have to make a new data source selection, and then you can create a new one, and you can save your view or the complete application using bookmarks. You can always open them when you like. So here, this is how the bookmarks look. So you can add your bookmarks or you can delete your bookmarks. You can also manage your bookmarks by going into the CMC. And when you want, you can also share your bookmarks. Then it will open up a URL for you. If you click on this button, it will automatically open this URL in a browser, or you can always send this URL by email. So if you have configured your Outlook, then as soon as you click on this send by email, then this bookmark URL will be copied to the email, and then you can simply share it with other users. And the smart object, as I explained it a little bit before. So the smart object, which are also called as portable fragment bookmarks. You can save a particular view, or you can save the complete application as a smart object. And if you are selecting the view, then only that particular chart or the cross chart will be displayed once you open that smart object. And as you can see in this screen, this is the online composition template. All your smart objects will be stored in a particular folders, which are usually created by your administrators in the CMC. So once you can select this particular folder, and then you can save your smart object. And once you are in the online composition tool, all those smart objects belonging to different folders will be displayed, and you can pull whichever smart object you want. You can create your dashboard based off smart objects coming from different data sources. So this is the location in the BI Launchpad where your application, the Design Studio application would be created once you have logged in the VIP mode, and once you have created a template using the generic analysis or using the generic analysis template. So as soon as you create something, once you go into the BI Launchpad under folders, usually your administrator would create a folder for you where he would mention like this is where you have to create all your Design Studio applications. So you have to go to the Design Studio Launchpad, go to that particular folder, and then you can see your Design Studio apps are created. Usually 2 folders would be created for one app. One would share all the images and everything, and one would have the actual app. So if you simply click on your app in the BI in the Launchpad, it opens up as you see here in the screen. You have opened your Design Studio app, which is created using the generic analysis template in the BI Launchpad. So regarding the portable fragments or the smart objects, here and you can manage them through the CMC. So once you log into the CMC under application, you have this Design Studio runtime, and upon the context menu, you will have an option manage bookmarks. Once you have that, that is where you would create your different folders where you would save your portable fragment or the bookmarks, and this is where you can also manage your complete smart objects in the CMC under this application. So as you can see here, you can see there's a portable fragment and there's just a saved. The type is just a fragment. So fragment is the type which gets created when you save it or when you bookmark the entire application, and portable fragment that type is created when you save just a particular view as a smart object. So it's more or less the same. In the Design Studio, you have to log in the NetWeaver mode first, and once you log in, then you will again select the generic analysis template, and you would assign this template to an iView. And once you have this iView, then you have to do the you have to assign this view to a page, and then or a role, and then you have to assign some permissions in order to access this view. So and the bookmarks, which is a very important functionality. So the bookmarks are stored in these 3 tables in the BW system, just in case if you want to go and manage or do something with the bookmarks. So these are the tables where you can find the bookmark related information on the NetWeaver platform. Okay, so that was a quick overview about the generic analysis template. Now we will try to look at the data discovery and visualization template. So the data discovery and visualization template, it is used for the online self-service data discovery and visualization based on the BW and HANA data sources. And this template can only be used on the BIP mode. It cannot be, for now, it cannot be used in the NetWeaver or HANA mode. Yes, so you can only use it in a BIP or locally. And the main features is, okay, so like generic analysis template, even this one is, you don't have to assign your data source in the design time. You would simply select this template, then you would run it, and during the runtime you would have an option to select the data source, either HANA system or the BW system. Once you select your data source, then it will take you to the visualize room. The look, as you can see, kind of the look, it kind of has a look and feel of Lumira, but the main reason why this template is given or is created, is given or included in the Design Studio is to help the business users or the end users to directly use the Design Studio app without having to wait for the developers, the dashboard developers to create something. Because with the Design Studio, usually you would have to depend on your IT or the dashboard developers to create some apps for you before you start using them. But this template will give you an opportunity to directly go into Design Studio and use this template, assign the data sources, and then on the fly create some visualizations without having to ask your IT person or the dashboard developers. And the main purpose is also like you can have an online BW connection. You can connect to a BW system online and simply pull up your query and then right away start creating your visualization. And okay, so the features and everything we will go in detail as we further discuss slides. The main features, and the main and the important feature which I like about data discovery and visualization template is like you can create visualizations based on from different data sources and combine them in one story. So which is really a good feature, because the rest of all the templates, once you select a data source, using that data source you would create your visualizations and it will be only one data source. And if you want to go create a different one, then you have to open up you have to select a new data source and then you have to start creating your visualization. But here in this template, you will be connected to one system, and then you will create a new connection and you will create your visualizations based off your new connection. And then once you go into the compose room, all the visualizations from different data sources you have created will be available. You can combine them all in one story or in one dashboard or application. And like other templates, definitely you can share your story through bookmarks or PDF. And so this feature for now is only available on the VIP mode. So this is how you will get started with the data discovery and visualization template. Again, you will start creating your new application. You would select the data discovery and visualization template, and once you have made your selection, make sure you select the desktop browser, because again for this template category, this template is only available for the desktop browser, not for the iPad or iPhone. So when you select an iPad or iPhone, then you will see a different set of templates which won't be available. So once you are in the data discovery and visualization template, you would click on this execute button, and then it would open up in a browser where you would do your data source selection, be it in HANA or be it a BW system. And again, it's the same. You have to, if you're working locally, then you have to define your HANA connection in the ODBC, or you have to have your BW connection in the SAP logon path. And if you are using in the BIP local mode, then both HANA and BW connections need to be created in the CMC. And once you have that, system would automatically display those connections in your drop down while selecting your databases. And if you have already selected or if you have already used a particular query, then you would, while doing your selections, it would display the recently used queries. Once you click on that, it will show exactly what you have built previously using that query, like the kind of selections you made for rows and columns, those will be there, and the charts which you have built, those will be there. So you can make use of that. You don't have to go through the entire process again. And if it's a BW system, then you can access your queries, views or info providers, and then build your dashboard based off that. And if it's a BW system, then again you can just use the calculation views or the analytical view. So this is how visualization, data discovery and visualization template will look like. On the left side, you can see the navigation panel, and you can drag and drop your dimensions and numbers into the respective rows and columns. You have a chart picker section on the top, and it's the same like other templates. It's just different types of charts are available in the chart picker section. And then here there's a little cogwheel icon where you can hide and show your title, and then if you have your prompt, then you can select that prompt dialog from here. And on the top you can see here we have the data set coming from a data source. And if you want to add a new data source, this is where you come and then add a new data source. And once you add a new data source, all these dimensions and measures, everything will be changed. And even this visualization gallery will be new. And then as soon as you start creating your visualization, those will be added here. And when you switch your selection, when you switch your data source, then all the visualization data of that particular data source will be displayed in this visualization gallery. And you have a little delete icon here. If you do not like your visualization, you can always delete them. And then here we have one more cogwheel icon for settings, where you can change your title. If you do not like this long title, then definitely you can change it. And so this is the compose room. So as I mentioned before, the data discovery and visualization template has two rooms, visualize room and compose room. Visualize room is where you would create all your visualizations based on different data sources, and compose room is where you would actually create your story, and you can make your you can select your data source here. If you have multiple data sources, could be maybe BW system, some visualizations are there, and you have a HANA system also where you have few more visualizations. So once you do your selections here, those visualizations related to that particular data source would be displayed. And this is where you would drag and drop all of your visualizations or combine your visualizations coming from different data sources. And you can have up to 5 pages. And your story can have up to 5 pages, and you can always export your story, or it is one of the very offline way of sharing your story to a different user. You can export it to a PDF format, and then you can share it, and you can always share your stories through bookmarks. And yep, if you do not like your stories, you can always delete them. And yes, so this is all about the compose room. So export to PDF option, we already talked about it. So different page sizes, or 2 types of orientations. You can give a header and a footer text. And once you export it, this is how your story looks like. And bookmarks, yeah, it's the same concept. You can share it. You can share the bookmarks to the URL. You can share it to the URL, or you can save it. And yeah, the location and everything will be the same in the BI mode. So if you want to open your data discovery template app which you created, you have to go into your BI Launchpad, and under folders, in that particular folder where you have created, just go to that folder, and once you open that, you would see your data discovery app. And here, so we have already discussed this, so I'm not gonna repeat it. The only thing to remember is like in the data discovery, depending upon which even though the template is generic, so user A will see his version of the app, and the user B will see, so whatever the user, he can definitely go, user A and B, they can go into this template, open up the same template, but user A will only see what he has created, and the user B will see what he has created. So it won't get mixed up, and the security wise and everything, whatever you have, your security in BW or HANA, those will be honored or respected. And if you need to have some additional folder level security and all, then you have to make your administrator do that in the CMC, in the BI. Okay, so again, it's the same, nothing new. If you save your app as a portable fragment or a smart object, or just as a regular bookmark, then all this can be managed again in the through CMC under this manage book option. So that was little about the data discovery and visualization template. Now I just have a one slide on the online composition template, not a lot, because as I mentioned before, we will have a separate webinar on this one. So we, along with generic analysis template and data discovery template, we have the one more template which is delivered in the 1.5 version. This one is called the online composition template. Basically, this is a predefined template which allows the users to create dashboards using the portable fragment bookmarks. So whatever the smart objects you have created, be it the generic analysis template or the data discovery template, those smart objects will be saved in the CMC under a particular folder. And once you start using this online composition template, all those smart objects which are created under the different folders will be read by this online composition template, and you can drag and drop and build your own dashboard using this online composition template. And these smart objects will be coming from different data sources, so which is good. So that's the main purpose of this online composition template. And usually this online composition template contains 2 pages. The page 1 would just show the grid component, and the page 2 would actually, so this is the page 1, and on the page 2 you can see on the right side all the smart objects are displayed. Once you drag and drop all this and build an application in the page 2, so the tile or a snapshot of this particular app will be displayed here. So likewise, if you build like 10 applications using the different smart objects coming from different data sources, those 10 applications will be displayed as tiles here, and then you just have to click on one particular tile and open, and then that would open this particular application. So it can be used for both BW and HANA online data scenarios. So the next one is the ad hoc template. Ad hoc template is usually used for the ad hoc slicing and dicing. So this template was delivered in Design Studio 1.4 version. So the only difference between the generic analysis template and the ad hoc analysis template, I would say, is like in the generic analysis template, it is more generic slicing and dicing, where you would assign your data sources while executing the app or during the runtime. But with the ad hoc analysis template, you would assign your data source in the design time, and after assigning your data source in the design time, you would execute your app. And once you execute your app, this is how it looks. All the dimensions and measures related to that particular data source which you have assigned in the design time will be displayed, and you can mark here which member is a dimension and which member goes under row. And here you have a menu option. You can see a cross tab is already created, and you can have the chart view, and also you can have the cross tab view. You can also do a little personalization of this particular template. You can show it in an analysis mode, or you can simply have a display mode when you don't want others to modify it or make any changes. And if you have your conditional formatting already defined in your query or view, those will be automatically displayed upon selecting this show conditional formatting option. And the totals, however you wanna have it to be displayed, you can make your selections here, and you can add your filters here by clicking on this plus icon. And you have your, once you click on this filter icon, this bar would appear where you would add your filters, and then you can always bookmark your ad hoc analysis template using this option. You can always refresh it, and at the bottom you can see you have the export to MS Excel, export to CSV, and print and share bookmark options available. So that was this detailed description about generic analysis template, or data discovery and visualization template, and ad hoc analysis template. Now we will go into the system, and I will try to show it to you. We'll have a demo. Okay. So I am in the Design Studio now. I'll just click on this application new. Okay, so I am already in the design mode. So this is where you would actually make your selection. Here and under this application, these are your preferred startup mode, local VIP mode. So when I say different modes, VIP, HANA or NetWeaver, I meant this. And if you wanna logging into a particular mode. So these are the different, these are the settings where you have to go and make changes. So I am already logged into the BIP mode. So I would create new. So I would say generic analysis. Next. So here where you make your selection. So here in the template category, make sure you have the desktop browser, and then I have my generic analysis template here. So I'm gonna select it. So I am in the generic analysis template design mode. As you can see here, we have, under the outline section, we have the complete what panels, what elements have used for this template. Everything is in there. So if you want to modify something, or if you want to create your own template using this generic analysis template, then you are most welcome to come to this outline section, and then you can modify it the way you want. And then once you have it, then you can go to this under applications, you have this export as template option. So once you export it as a template, then you can share this template with your other users who can use this template as a base and start building their own applications. So once I have this generic analysis template in the design mode, I'm not doing anything. All I'm doing is simply clicking on this execute button, and it opens a URL where it will ask you to select your data source. So I have bunch of BW and HANA systems available. So I'm going to select a HANA system now. And I have, these are my different folders available in HANA. So I'm going to just select the Superstore Sales Analytical View. And as you can see, I am in the generic analysis template in the BIP mode, and I have my measures and dimensions. I did not do any configurations, or I did not build anything in the design mode. All I did is simply selected the template and I simply executed it. I just assigned one data source, and now I'm ready to create my own dashboard. And so these are the different options which we have. And under measures, if you wanna, you can always filter it upon right click. I would say I don't want to see all the members, so I would just select sales and profit, and so that so now I have filtered my measures, or I have just selected the measures which I want, and then I'm gonna simply select the customer name or the product. And here you have this refresh option. So once you click on this refresh option, you can see I have my data available. And here, once you click on this filter, I have already selected few members under measures, so I already have that. But if I want to add more, then I just click on this filter and then click on this plus button, and you can see it's showing me different dimensions. And if I just, okay, maybe that's a bad selection, so I'll just go for which one I can select. What do I have? For customer name and product name, so I will select the product name. Now I don't have the data, so maybe I'll select something else. So probably I just need 2 people. I know it might not be relevant, but yeah. So I just added a filter for my dimension, and I can also create I can switch this from a cross tab to a chart. Yeah, this is not the best chart I have selected, but so here you can see I have the chart, and also I have the cross tab, and I have switched to the just to show the chart, and this is where I have my chart. And if you click on this little arrows, then you can see the chart picker, and then just you can swap axes. Yeah, I have kind of pulled up too much of data, and this is not the best chart. So I might have to apply more filters to make it. So on my okay, that's not the best chart I selected. So I just So maybe this one looks better, so it's too much of data. Okay, so, and you can always save, as I mentioned, you can always save this as a smart object. You can save the entire app, or you can simply save the view, and you can export it to the Microsoft Excel, CSV, PDF, print options, and then you can also bookmark it. You can simply save as, then analysis template. Okay, then your bookmark is saved, so you can open this bookmark, and as you can see under okay, so under info, you can see the metadata information of this template is displayed. I know I'm kind of running over a little bit, but I'll be very quick. So that was a demo about generic analysis template. Now I will move to the data discovery template. So it's a simple one. Again, I am in the design mode of Design Studio, and then now I will select the data discovery and visualization template. I will try to be quick. I have already have few things open, so we have too many things open. I'm sorry. Okay, so now I have the data discovery and visualization template open, so I will quickly run this one. So let me select data view system now, and I know what query I need, so I will simply type in here search, and I have my query, so I will simply select this query. So now I am in the data discovery and visualization template. So here on the top you can see the chart picker section, and you have your navigation panel here, and you can add your filters, and this is where you can actually create a new connection. So right now the cross tab is the only one which is created based off this particular database. Now if I want to create a new database or new data source, so yeah, I now Cincinnati Financials, this is a HANA box, and here I will just select the this selection. And now you can see my dimensions and measures are changed, and also and now I'm displaying the data source coming from a HANA box, and here this is the data source which is coming from a BW box. So once I have my visualizations created here, I would simply go to the Compose tab, and here I'll just I'm just going to keep it as new story, and then I'm going to create a story. So here, as you can see, we have the two data sources available. So I can simply drag and drop the cross tab coming from the BW system. This is not the ideal one. And in the page 2, I'll just select the, although I did not create any chart, so because we are running out of time, so I just want to show you how it works. So on the page 1, I have the cross tab coming from a BW or a HANA system, and on the page 2, I have a cross tab coming from a different data source. And you can also create or you can put both the visualizations in the same page also. It doesn't matter, even that works well. And you can export it to PDF, share, and you can always create your new story. And as I have mentioned before, for the pages you can use up to 5 pages for one story.
There were general questions about putting in your own templates and Lumira and Design Studio interoperability. I don't know if you can talk anything about that.
There is certainly interoperability, little bit of interoperability with from the Design Studio to Lumira, and you can do that with a little bit of scripting. But right now we just started it. It's not as mature, but it's definitely there, and going forward probably we'll try to include more. But as of now, you can export your Design Studio app as a LUMS file, and then you can import that LUMS file into the Lumira and start using it. Yes, that option is there. And right now, yeah, we just started it, so there isn't a lot of functionality yet. But the good news is, like, we have started it, and probably going forward we'll have a lot more interoperability between both the tools.
Just to add to what Sushma was talking about in terms of the interop, currently we do have an interop between Lumira and Design Studio with regards to the visualization extensions. So if you have a visualization extension which is developed for Lumira, you should be able to bring that into Design Studio and then consume that within Design Studio. So that is one of the interop which is available already. And to add to what Sushma was talking about, there is a small script, a small piece of script which you need to write, and this is only available currently on Design Studio Cross tab. So on the Cross tab, all you need to do is for that particular data source which is connected to that particular Cross tab, you can just say ds_1.export, and then it will give you an option to choose a LUMS output. So you can once you code that, and then when you run it at runtime, when you right click on it, when you click on the cross tab, it actually downloads a lumps file. So it downloads the data into a lumps file, which you can open it in a Lumira application, and then that will kind of bring the data in your data prepare room, and it will organize your entire data set into attributes and measures.
Generic analysis and the ad hoc analysis have a navigation facility similar. We are in navigation panel, we can select multiple navigation and we can press OK. Same is like in generic analysis, we can do multiple arrangement in row and column, and then we can unpush the button. But for the filter, multiple filter in ad hoc analysis, when we click on the plus filter and then plus, we can select multiple values for multiple different dimension or characteristics, and then we can back in each after selecting everything, and then we can apply simultaneously the apply filter, which will refresh the output for all your different selection. But it's the same we cannot do in generic analysis, or we can achieve the same.
So you mean to say choosing multiple values for a specific dimension and then applying those values as a filter to the output?
Together, yeah. Means 5, 6 you select.
You should be able to do that. If you go back to that generic analysis template and right click on any attribute and then choose which values. So if
filter
you right click, filter members, and then you should have
that is one
value.
by one. Yeah,
No,
if
you
you
can
want
choose multiple
everything together.
You can choose all of them. If you click on access to the... So is that what you mean, or?
Yeah, that was my, I want to say that in ad hoc analysis there is an option after clicking on filter, we can filter values for one characteristic, then second, then third, then fourth, and then we apply all together and...
That you're talking about a dimension filter, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, we can choose multiple dimension filter and then we can apply all dimension filter together by apply, but same cannot be done in generic analysis, right?
You can customize and then include a dimension filter even in this if you want. So dimension filter is just a control object which is available within Design Studio.
Okay.
Which brings in all the dimensions and measures which are part of that data source. So, and then you can choose all values and then apply it in one shot.
Why generic analysis and data discovery template does not have the option to hardcode the data source? I think we can do here. If you go to the generic analysis template under outline, you can assign your data source here itself, and once you assign it, then while you execute it, then you won't get prompted to select the data source.
Yeah, so in Design Studio 1.5 there was a new object. If you scroll down, there is a connection property.
Connection, yeah.
So that kind of gives you the flexibility to choose your source system and data source at runtime. But if you don't want that feature enabled, you can always hardcode your data source.
Yeah.
That feature is inside the data source folder, right? Where there is a by default unassigned data source is there.
You can you can always override that and then just create a new data source. So if you right click and create a data source, you should be able to hardcode your data source whatever you want.
By default when we open the template, it comes with unassigned data source, and then from right hand side navigation panel, I select the system and whatever my data source from query. But after saving and when I executing, it's again take me to the select source system first. So
correct, because you have an implementation of a new technical object called as connections, which is what Sushma just showed you at the bottom. So if you disable that, because there is a script which runs and then kind of brings up that browser, query browser, or the source system pop-up screen where you get to select. So these basically override whatever you are selecting. That's the reason why you are prompted to actually choose a source system. So if you disable all these and then just hardcode this one, then it will not prompt you for any source system selection screen.